Hello, face. I am recording this video for you to practice the lead-up exercises to give us the sensations that will help us to deepen our practice of narrowing of the pelvis. So we're going to be using a magic circle and a yoga strap or a belt for this particular series. Okay, so let's go through this. So you're going to need to be, if you have your gyrokinesis stool, ideal. If you don't have a gyrokinesis stool, just something where your hips are slightly higher than your knees. So you definitely want to have that lined up. You're going to use your magic circle, your Pilates ring, putting it just slightly above your knees. The cueing for this is coming from your pelvis. So in the interior of your pelvis, there's a muscle group, the iliacus, that's going to flex the right and the left side of the pelvis toward the midline. And as it does, you're going to feel the engagement of the ring with your muscles, the adductor muscle group. And it's going to close that together. And then you're going to release that midline draw. So as we flex the narrowing of the pelvis, we're going to be squeezing inward, and then we release. Another place that you can search for this sensationally is at the sitting bones level. So where you're sitting, if I have no tension whatsoever, and I'm just kind of resting, I feel like the base of my pelvis is just kind of flattening or widening out or widening. I'm going to use the magic circle or the Pilates ring to help me have some tension to squeeze toward, to narrow those sitting bones toward each other. So I'm flexing the muscles within my pelvis, narrowing of the pelvis is the cue, squeezing inward and then following through with my legs and release. So you're going to be doing approximately 8, 12, 16 of these. That's to get the first adductor. It's not only about adductors, but just to recruit this midline awareness in the limbs all the way down to the feet. We're going to get rid of that. Then you're going to step through your magic, your yoga strap or your belt, whatever you're using. This needs to be fixed. It's not a TheraBand because we don't want any movement. This is a closed chain exercise. So without the magic circle or the Pilates ring, I'm going to narrow my pelvis. Second to that, I'm going to engage the strap as though, if the strap wasn't there, as if I was going to take my legs in one straight line to the side, not external rotation, not this motion. It's an outward reach into the lateral line of my legs. Now I'm going to close my strap a little bit here because I don't want my knees to go outside the line of my hip joint. So I'm not looking for abduction. I'm just looking to engage the muscles and release. I'm narrowing my pelvis. I'm getting onto the inner edges of my sitting bones. And then I'm widening into the strap. Narrowing of the pelvis, and then widening into the strap. Great, so you're doing 8, 12, 16 of those. We're going to step out. Without any prop whatsoever, you're doing the exact same exercise using your hands as the Pilates ring. Narrowing of the pelvis. You're squeezing inward toward your hands as though it was the magic circle, but you're keeping your arms in place. You're going to keep that. Transition to the outside as though your hands were the yoga strap. You're going to keep your legs stable, but your legs are going to press out into your hands as though they were reaching into the strap. And then you're going to release that. We'll do it again. We're narrowing the pelvis, squeezing in, pressing out, and releasing. One more time. Squeezing in, narrowing of the pelvis, using those iliacus muscles. This is not something you're necessarily going to feel, but you should feel the elongation happening in the spine the more and more you practice this exercise. Go to the outside, pressing outward. Try not to let your legs move. And then release it. Now, in the full narrowing experience, we're also going to be recruiting the back of the legs, the hamstrings. To feel that right now, flex one of your feet, toe up, toes up. Dig your heel down into the floor and pull toward your sitting surface. So I'm pulling, but I'm not moving. I'm not bending my knee more deeply. I'm just engaging. And then I release. I do the other side, pull. And you'll see my spine is responding by elongating. If you have done or are doing the biological pump exercise, you'll know this sensation from here, but without sidetracking into biological pump. We're now going to do both feet at the same time. Pull both heels toward you, like your feet were going to slide toward your stool, but without moving them. Pull, And then you're going to feel that your knees are going to kind of counter and reach forward. As I pull my heels underneath me, my knees want to reach forward, and then I release. So we're going to put all three of those together. Hands in, squeeze. Hands out, press. Pull your heels and reach your knees and release. We do it again. We squeeze in. Imagine this is the Pilates ring. Outer, now it's the yoga strap or the belt. Now I'm pulling my heels toward me and reaching my knees away. And each time I do this, I don't release the thing I did before. So now I've got all the lines of tension active, and I can feel really, really long. I'm really, really up on my sitting bones. And you can see that because when I release it, there's a noticeable change in height. Okay, keep practicing this. This is the narrowing of the pelvis, developing that exercise through the use of the props that we're working with. Okay, enjoy.